Hi, I'm going to walk you through the steps of how to create a lockdown session, how students join a lockdown session, and what the classroom monitoring platform looks like as a session is going on. So on the left, I have the teacher version, and on the right, the student. So first thing, the teacher needs to decide which class they want to put into lockdown. So you're going to select My Classes, and then whichever class you want to put into lockdown, just simply select the pink triangle on that class. Now first thing, let's talk about how can a student actually join a lockdown session. Well, notice it creates a unique session code for you that you need to share with your students. There's a couple different ways you can do this. You can write it on the board and they can type it in directly. You can click on this arrow to send them a push notification, or you can click on this envelope where it'll actually generate an email for you to send to your students. So say I click on the envelope. Notice what happens is it puts the unique session code right here into the body of the email, and then it already actually fills it out for you to where it'll send it right directly to your students. Let's look at what happens if we actually want to do a push notification. So you're going to click this arrow, it tells you it's been sent, and notice on the student side they can select to join the session. When they do that, notice the unique session code is automatically generated right onto the student's device. So let me go ahead and join this as a student here. Now let's finish activating our lockdown session and setting it up. So first thing, as a teacher, you can actually customize the calculator. So simply uncheck whichever calculators you don't want your students to have access to during this time. Now if I swipe left, I can set the timer. So say my time is 1 hour and 30 minutes. Just click above or below the numbers to change the time. Now if I swipe left again, this is where I can see my students. Notice I have a counter here saying I have 2 students total, 1 has joined and 1 is pending. Notice that these are color coded, so the one that's joined is in green, the one that's pending is in orange. So I'm going to go ahead and start this session by clicking this pink triangle here. So this is your classroom monitoring platform. So notice up here, it'll actually keep track of not only how much time has passed, but how much time you actually have left. Also, you have your counters going on. So notice I have 1 student that's joined in green, 1 student that's pending in orange, and no students that have currently left the session. Notice the 1 student that has joined in green, on their side, they get a green stripe going across the top. That's how you know they're actually in lockdown. I'll show you what it looks like if they're not in lockdown. So let's say, for example, this student decides they need to make an emergency call. They can do that by clicking this red phone button here. So notice you're notified. You have the noise, the bell shakes, now tells you 1 has left and is turned red by that student's profile. The other good thing is we're working on where this will actually be dynamic, where that student will actually pop up to the top. That way you don't have to scroll through to see which student actually left the lockdown session. Now as a student, notice if I open the calculator, that green stripe is no longer there. So that's how you know that a student is no longer in lockdown. Let me go ahead and join again. That way I can show you how else you can be notified. All right, so I've joined the session again. Notice now I'm now green and 1 has joined. So first let's talk about, well, what if a student isn't there that day or you need to remove them from a session? You simply just swipe left on their name and then click the trash can, and that's how you can actually delete a student. If you need to briefly unlock a student, once again, just swipe left, and that's how you can actually unlock them. So you unlock them and then you can delete them if you'd like to. The other good thing is you don't have to actually watch this like a hawk. You can have it running in the background. Say, for example, I close out of the app and then I have a student that either makes an emergency call or just tries to force their way out of an app. Notice you're once again notified. You get a pop-up here and also a notification right here on your app. So if I open it, once again, it's now turned red. I hear the noise. The bell is shaking, telling me a student has left lockdown. So say you want to end the lockdown session. There's a couple different ways. Either the timer will completely run out. You can click this right here to end the session. And once you do that, everybody's devices will be right back to normal. So yes, I want to end the session. And that's how you can create a lockdown session. Students can join and then also use the classroom monitoring tool as the session is going on.